Ooh, Cerydra's performance is not. Oh my god. Wait, how? How is Jingliu having a high? Wait, not even like Jing. How is Agalea having a higher score than Phainon? How is Argenti having a higher score than Phainon? Is this the end of Phainon? Did Phainon already fall off? Breaking news. Phainon spotted in McDonald's. Hey guys, the final Honkai Star Rail player here. It has been a lonely world, but today there is a little bit of happiness and hope for the HSR community as Lord Prydwen has graced us with its blessings of pure fiction analytics to take a look at what are the performances for this current pure fiction reset. Also, for this video as well as all future videos going forward, due to the brand new YouTube AI restricted mode, all the kind of thingy, your streamer will be extremely family friendly. Right, because nowadays YouTube route this brand new thingy where if you are not family friendly, it will literally just not show your video, which is very bad. So we are gonna be more calm, we're gonna be more chill, and it's just gonna be a very family friendly channel from now on, right? Okay, so let's just jump right into our pure fiction version 3.5 analytics, just updated yesterday on the 7th of September. Let's take a look at the first row at E0S1. Alright, so we are going to be seeing a whopping 40,000 full clear with here at 49.99% appearance, and following very closely is going to be 39,594 for Casteris at 50.66%, and Teep and RMC are going to be around the same caliber. Once again, just going to show how absolutely disgusting this global passive team is, especially for players with no morals, right? Just fully clearing every single pure vision content, and frankly speaking, with these two alone, Hia and Teep, you should be having almost no issues when it comes to pure fiction, right? Going forward down a little bit, we do see Blade. Blade is actually the rank 5 fastest clearing DPS in the entire game, which is truly exceptional. Even though his appearance is gonna be slightly lower at only 1%, that is still a very impressive result considering that he is gonna be a version 1 DPS that got a rewrite, right? Truly exceptional performance. And we do see a Nexa with a 37,548. Now, some people did say that he is not that insane in pure fiction, which to a certain extent is true, but it's really just mainly for wave 1. And from wave 2 and wave 3, his performance and single target burst damage is going to be very nice for the bosses. 12.57% and 37,548. That's going to be very nice. And I think Jade and D Herda, they have always been quite dominant so far. Herda actually fell off, not really fell off, but she's still maintaining the top rows. At least, you know, though she's no longer rank 1, which is, you know, AAYA, right? Black Swan actually came on the up and up with Kafka and Hysolence, but unfortunately Hysolence did fall off a goddamn cliff. I think it's probably because they are starting to shift away slightly. It's like a less favorable environment for DOT, but it's definitely still going to be viable. I do wonder how the hell did Black Swan have a higher rating than Hysolence though. It's kind of funny. This is going to be Blade All. So this is sub DPS and this is all. So I'm getting this is the main DPS blade, and this is the Casteris sim blade, which is yep, just very nice performances across the board. Baby Herda type with D Herda, or just generally speaking, she's also very nice in pure fiction. Lingsha is super break. Anexa is this is all like a main DPS Anexa. So this is with D Herda, this is just gonna be by himself. Wait, Maide actually performed quite nicely this time. 34,000 in pure fiction, going up by 745 points. Yeah, honestly, this is quite good, right? Alongside Adventuring, just chilling. Meow Meow is just being Meow Meow. Argenti sub DPS definitely carried by D Herda. I don't really see him being a main DPS, so it is what it is. Hue Nobody likes Hue. And then we have Gallagher going up a little bit higher, followed by Japard at 0.25 and Butter at 0.49. So I'm not really going to talk about these one guy scenarios. Luocha is going to be at a very decent 9% at 32,965. Saval pair up by D Herda, Fu Xuan and Jade as okay. Ooh, Cerydra's performance is not. Oh my god. Wait, how? How is Jingliu having a high? Wait, not even like Jing. How is Agalea having a higher score than Phainon? How is Argenti having a higher score than Phainon? Okay, I feel like this might be the Acheron Jiaoqiu effect, guys. Do you guys remember the Acheron Jiaoqiu effect? Where Acheron's performance really start to show a big discrepancy for players that pulled for Jiaoqiu and for players that did not pull for Jiaoqiu. So at this rate, because we do see the introduction of Cerydra, I'm pretty sure that out of these 27%, you know, as seen from the appearance rate, 20% basically did not use Cerydra, right? And that might be an explanation as to why Phainon's performance actually dropped off by quite a bit, because majority of the casual audience probably went ahead and skipped Cerydra, especially at a E0S1 base. This is E0S1, right? Yeah, this is E0S1. Oh my god, I cannot imagine what this is going to be looking like at E0S0, right? Okay, and we also, to be fair, we also did know that Phainon's Pure Fiction performance has never really been that good, especially because counter just wastes way too much action value. And if you're going to be pairing that up with a lack of Cerydra to give you the additional enhanced skill to clear off the enemy teams, it is going to definitely be a little bit of a problem. So, yeah, damn, guys. It literally has been like, what, one version? Yeah, it has literally just been one version, and bro is okay. I'm not talking about like zero cycles, right? But in one version, bro could not maintain 30k. That is a little bit sad. It makes me do want to cry, but it is what it is. Okay, anyways, let's just move on a little bit over here. Aglea is gonna be here. Bronya is gonna be tied to the lack of performance with Phainon herself. What the hell is Queen Ivan doing here? Oh, holy shit, bruh. Goddamn. Ooh. Damn, Rabba is really not doing that well, guys. Man, Super Break is just unplayable in a Pure Fiction now. Okay, Burio. No. Oh my god. Skill issue, not gonna lie. It is legitimately a skill issue. I don't know what the hell these people are, bro. I will literally pull out a face shell 40k clear, by the way. Right? It literally is just a skill issue. So we don't really have to talk about that. But oh my god, though. Super Break is literally unplayable at E0S1, unfortunately. And Acheron, well. Wait, Saber is really kind of rough as well, TBH. Archer, we already know that he is actually... Wait, I'm actually kind of surprised that Archer managed to clear 24k. Considering that he's completely... Okay, I can't say like a bad word. He is really suboptimal for Pure Fiction, right? Oh, we have a lot of room to improve for Archer's performance in Pure Fiction, but yeah, it's just a little bit interesting to see his 24k 873 and his tier 5, and we can see units like this still being in tier 3, by the way. The day when Firefly falls to tier 5 is the day she'll get a buff. Alright, I'm calling it, chat. Bro, wait, chat. You guys literally heard it here first. If Firefly ever falls to a tier 5, right, I am almost absolutely positive MiHoYo is gonna buff her. Because she literally was the girlfriend of Panacony. She was like the entire girlfriend. There's no way in God's green earth MiHoYo is gonna let Firefly remain a tier 3 or God forbid tier 5 unit. I'm calling it right here. If Firefly ever sees that day, she's gonna get buffed. I'm legitimately calling it, right? So that is gonna be that. Other than that, I think, generally speaking, I just think the time for Super Break is more or less done, and everything else just not gonna be that relevant, right? Also, this is just skill issue. So let's take a look at the E0X0 statistics over here, which is gonna be right here. Okay, yep, still very nice, clear for higher scene over here. Teep is gonna be, ooh, okay. High sentence actually went up by quite a bit at E0X0. Once again, going to show that you really just don't really care that much. If DOT is gonna pop off, they're gonna pop off regardless. Jade is actually doing a little bit better than. Oh my god, I literally just noticed something, guys. If you are an E0S0 user, you are literally part of the 1%. That is kind of crazy, guys. Which means that out of these data points, right, almost everyone got them a signature light code. You get what I'm saying? I'm not sure if this is the norm for like the casual audience, because to be fair, the sample size is only going to be 22,000 from very, very elitist communities, such as, for example, Poke's Village at Discord.gg4 says Poke's Village. But yeah, a lot of individuals, I would dare say more than 99% of the player base are actually getting their signature icons. So it's gonna be kind of wait, this person is literally here owners are literally less than 1% for E0S0. Oh wait, you know why? Because anybody that owns here have no morals anyways. Because they all for casters. Okay, it makes sense. Okay, let's move on a little bit more. Okay, yep, this is gonna be D-Herda next. Not too big of a change over here. All these looks to be same. Damn. Okay, you know what? All this considered, I don't think Acheron's performance changed by that much with or without signature light code. This is E0S0 at 27,000, and this is E0S1. Wait, where's this? Is E0S1 also at 27,000, guys. So, but the bottom line is, you don't need her signature icon anymore, right? As long as you pull for Meow Meow, you pull for what you call it, Jiao Qiu, maybe on average you're probably not gonna be feeling that big of an impact. Also, E0S0 Cerydra is wait, what? Holy shit, guys! Wait, hold up. E0S0 Phainon is worse than E0S0 Acheron. That is absurd, by the way. That is true, because we literally just got a Cerydra. Right, we literally just got a Cerydra, so that is really absurd. So yep, truly exceptional. Sunday is gonna be also falling off by quite a little bit. Argenti is I don't know who the hell is using Argenti this day and age, right? E0S0 Saber, Silver Wolf is fine with tutorial, but she's kind of okay in pure vision, I guess. And everyone else is just holy. Firefly is closing in to the Yanqing territory. That is exceptional, right? So that is gonna be that for E0S0. So let's just jump into our final portion, which is gonna be the E2, right? E2. Whoa. God damn. Okay, so if you are gonna be an E2, Hia and Kazris is pretty much all 40k, you know, across the board with E2. Nexa is the only other DPS that actually managed to get a 40k clear outside of every other individual. In fact, a little bit higher than D-Herda. But to be fair, this is a sub DPS Nexa, which means that some D-Herda, like E2 D-Herda users, did not manage to get a perfect score, guys. Okay, with all due respect, if you got an E2 Herda, right, E2S1 Herda, and you cannot get 40k, you're literally just intentionally sabotaging Herta's results. It's like the same thing with Acheron last time, right? Like we got news and confirmation that there has been individuals intentionally sabotaging Acheron's results in Epoch Shadows. If you have an E2S1 Herta and you cannot 40k with, I'm not even being an elitist, family friendly. Hysolence is going to be very nice. Blade is going to be roughly 39k across the board. And then there's going to be Jade over here. Argenti actually doing not too shabby. And then we do have the classic DOT. Cerydra at 39. Oh, okay, a lot of individuals are going to be... Holy, I just realized that Phainon, even with E2, is not getting a 40k clear. How do you... I think there is a Phainon agenda. I really don't think there's any other explanation other than the fact that there, just like how previously we have an Acheron agenda, there is a anti-Phainon agenda led by Sarah of the Lake, right? Sarah has her own private little Discord with like 500 other Phainon haters, right? She gathered all of them in one spot, and they just all ran it down with Phainon mid, 0 and 10 by the first 5 minutes, which leads to a performance, because there's no way in God's green earth an E2 Phainon, E2S1 is not getting 40k, right? So it is what it is. Let's just move on this a little bit, right? Yep, my day, this is gonna be Meow Meow. Bronya, okay, yep, all these is gonna be fine. Jinglo actually doing very nice, actually. Holy. 37,000 for an E2 Qingliu is truly exceptional. And then we have Babin, Shilin. Wait, okay. Yep. Oh, I was thinking like Super Break is getting saved. Okay, I guess to a certain extent it is. So E2 Firefly is still going to be clear at a 4.3%. So it's Reba, Qingyuan also clear, Saber alongside. Oh! And there it is. We do have an Acheron with Argenti over here. Archer just barely. I don't know who the hell is using Kurala, and that's gonna be Argenti, and everyone else is just basically not going to be clearing. Also, chat, I swear, E2 Dale is clearable, guys. I'm almost certain E2 Dale you can clear Pure Fiction. You know why? Because anyone can run these two units. So I'm almost positive if you just ran E2 Dale with like Sunday, Hyacinth, and Tribi, you are gonna be able to at least bare minimum pass. Bare minimum get 30k. I sincerely believe this is all with all of my heart. So it is what it is. Let's move on a little bit forward. So this is gonna be our appearance rate. Okay. Oh, we removed the combine function. That's very nice because I don't even think anyone cares about the previous function. 70% for T, 59.4 for RMC, or this is No Morals team. Herda is still chilling. Sunday went up by quite a decent amount. Hysolence went up with Kafka. Rame went up by 11%. Huan, almost no change. Final dropped by a pretty substantial margin. We have Babin, Black Swan, Bronya, blah 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 blah. Nexa going up by quite a bit for sub DPS, basically tied with D Herda's increase in appearance as well. Jake is gonna be sort of same. Cerydra's first time appearance, feel almost no change. Oh, Aggron really fell off a goddamn cliff when it comes to appearance rate over here. Cypher and Jiao Qiu is gonna be around the same caliber. Firefly almost no change, and everyone else just sort of is gonna be in the same spot, it seems. Yep, that is pretty much it. So this is gonna be our character usage rate over time. We do see Hysolence being in a red category at 36,275, slightly higher than D Herda, but I am almost certain it's because on the launch of her banner, we do have a lot of bars that are gonna be tied with a DOT synergy, right? So maybe after this goes a while a little bit, perhaps you're probably gonna be seeing D Herda coming back in for our Pure Fiction environment, and Casuarys as well. You know, no passive, right? No. What is no passive? No morals. It is what it is. Might they somehow manage to get rank 4? Tier 1.5, by the way. God damn. Okay. Then this is gonna be our blade over here. Oh, I just realized these four are all the men. The men of HSR. 32, 31, 30, 30. And everyone else just did not pass. Alright. Okay, to be fair, Argent is a little bit fruity, and Qingyuan is falling asleep, so it is what it is. And yeah, we have Qingliu, Agleia, Acheron is just really not cutting out in Pure Fiction nowadays. Saber is down, nobody plays Argenti, and Super Ray just did in the ditch. So yep, my wife is just gonna be facial propaganda, so it is what it is. Let's go on into our sub DPS, and there is going to be our de facto rank 1. There's gonna be no questions asked. Yeah, Anexa is still doing. Wait, Anexa actually has a higher score than even Jade. Truly exceptional. And we have D Herda, Argenti, Meow Meow, DOT, and everyone else just not gonna be playable. And then into the amplifier, RMC is still gonna be undisputed highest ranking free unit, by the way. This guy is literally free with 64%, 36,890, which is very exceptional. Cerydra, Runmei, Babin, Sunday, Bronya is going to be roughly the same spot at 32k down to 30k. And then all the others are not going to be doing too good because their respective DPS is also not going to be doing too good. Super Break, I don't even know who the hell is using HMC in this day and age, right? And then Hyaya is Hyaya. Oh my god, the Hyaya gap with like the next sustain is astounding, by the way. It's literally like a 6,000 average score difference on average 6,000 points higher compared to the next sustain, which just truly is a testament as to how much damage Hyacinth can do, especially if you're gonna be pairing up with D Herda, sorry, not D Herda, for Tribi, and can just kind of run it with anyone in the mount. So that's gonna be that. Everyone other sustain here, they are basically on the same caliber up until Bailu, which I don't know who the hell is using this anyway. So that is gonna be that for our score. And finally jumping into our team usage rate, and let's take a look at our score over here. God damn, no morals. All right, classic no morals. And then we do have another no morals with a double sustain, guys. Whoa, A double sustain no morals team. That is really interesting. And we do see the D Herda with Argenti and D Herda with Sunday. So not gonna be okay. Anexa also does appear. It's quite interesting to see that D Herda can 40k and Anexa can 40k, but not D Herta and Anexa. Which is kind of interesting considering that Anexa was literally designed to go with D Herta, and turns out both of their highest performing teams doesn't even want one another, which is just interesting. Maybe it's just the Sunday effect just making out to be a hypercarry DPS. Also, this team I can assure this is a very strong team for Anexa. No matter for whichever endgame content is gonna, this is D team. This is D team, right? And then going down a little bit more, okay, we do see a keep Hyacinth DOT, and so as a keep sustainless Dockeron. Wow, a sustainless Dockeron. That is a very exceptional. And then we do see a mighty characteristic duo DPS. Actually, at this point, this is like quadra TPS, because everyone on this team can essentially deal a ridiculous amount of damage anyways. So it is what it is. Jing Liu actually managing to get 40k is absurd. Also, why did we not achieve this with Sunday? Is RMC better than Sunday? Okay, I guess Sunday's additional clear is not gonna be mattering Jing Liu that much, but wow, yep, that is very nice. A lot of 40k clears actually. Yeah, that is a lot of 40k clears. It's mostly ranging between D Herda, DOT as well as Casters. Yep, it's all D Herda Casters. DOT D Herda Casters, DOT D Herda Casters. I do see a Sunday over here at 39,685, so that's gonna be. Yo, I hope that Prydwen can add like sort by lowest score. I'm actually so curious to see who are like the worst possible score outside of 0, right? Outside of 0. So if Mr. CEO of Prydwen watches this video, can we please have a function sort by score, but like the opposite end, and you remove all the zeros. So like literally like the 20k clears. I want to see that. It's just very curious. Right? So that is gonna be our overall score ranking, and then by the population is gonna be, oh my god, everybody's just running Castris, everybody just running Dihirda, and then this side is just gonna be DOT Phainon. Damn, the disparity between E0 and E1 is truly absurd, which I just don't know. How is this possible, guys? How is this? Okay, this is E2, right? The E2's final performance is very good. But is the gap really that big to the point where if we don't get the E2, he literally does not clear? I just think that's absurd. There has to be some anti-final agenda going on. I don't believe the E2 gap is that big, especially when they add the inclusion of Cerydra into the mix itself. So let me know what you guys in the comments below. I think this disparity is absolutely insane. It's like, you know, back in those days when we see like a DPS, especially when a DPS just launched within the version, they are still clearing, right? I'm not even talking about zero cycle, I'm talking about clearing, right? Clearing endgame content, I think, is nothing too crazy to ask within one patch, right? And now after literally one patch later, from 3.4 to 3.5, we are going from clearing to barely not clearing on E0. I think that is a little bit interesting, and I refuse to believe this team cannot clear, by the way. On full ease, I refuse to believe this team cannot clear, right? Let me know what you guys in the comments. So let's just jump this up. Okay, yeah, Firefly at this point, why are we still running? Okay, wait. I take it back. I actually feel, you know there was this sentiment where if you want to run Super Break, you have to run a sustainers team to run the DDD spams with imprisonment as well as more defensive main sets. I actually don't think that is possible, or at least as possible as we would like to nowadays. Like if you were to run a sustainers DOT, the damage you're coming from the enemies are actually not as low as compared to last time anymore. So there's a very good chance that you might actually just get cooked. Also, I guess the winners is gonna be a little bit off. I can't remember what is the first house winners anymore, but yeah, right, and everything else is just gonna be okay. You see? Okay, so Cerydra Sunday Bronya is clearing on 33, and Bronya Runway Sunday is clearing on 30 for a final team. Why are we running this? Who is running this? the casual player base, absolutely. Then we do have RMC Sunday Bronya on roughly 29. So it appears that the best performing team for Phainon. Wait, let me just search my Phainon real quick. The best performing team for Phainon. Where is Phainon? Okay, there we go. Sort by score. Okay. What the heck? The best performing team for Phainon is Teep. Teep literally does more than Cerydra. That is kind of crazy. That is legitimately kind of crazy. Alright, at least for the first half. Then we do see Teep again on rank 3. And then rank 4 is going to be with Sparkle RMC without the Sunday. Cerydra Sunday Bubble is going to be a 33. Then this is going to be, okay, the rest of these are going to be Cerydra. So all these are Cerydra teams. And if you do not have Cerydra, you just run Teep. So I guess Teep is still going to be dealing exceptionally well, especially in Pure Fiction. Okay, this team actually cleared on 32k, guys. A Phainon team with Sunday Ting Yun and goddamn Aventurine. That is really interesting. I did not expect a... Because this is a sustain, right? Yeah, I did not expect a Phainon with a sustain to actually clear in 32,240 actually. Which is kinda interesting. And then we do see a Jiao Qiu angle. Then the rest of this is gonna be quite a lot more on the 30k angles with Cerydra or Sunday. And then we see a couple of team wings. Huan actually still doing quite well as long as you're gonna pair her with Cerydra. And then this is... Okay, you know what? Actually, Huan is still doing okay with Phainon. Like, to be fair, it is one guys, right? They're mostly one guys, but she is still clearing. And we have a couple of here clears with Phainon as well, which is interesting to say the least. And then going into the second half, which is also still going to be viable, 34 with Cerydra, this is going to be with Bubbin. This is a very interesting 0.1% team with Team Bronya and RMC, and this is going to be Teep Sunday and Bronya. Rest of them is a mix between Sunday and Cerydra. But I would say, generally speaking, I see quite a decent chunk of Phainon clears, at least sort by score, not even including Cerydra. Yep. There are quite a lot. I would say probably more than half. I think from the data, we already saw that 20% of Phainon mains out of the 27% of appearance, only 7% use Cerydra. And out of those 7%, probably they use Cerydra in other team comps. So I would say that the actual Cerydra appearance with Phainon is actually a lot lower for this Pure Fiction, if I can say so myself, right? So that is gonna be, is Phainon done? Is this the end of Phainon? Did Phainon already fall off? Breaking news. Phainon spotted in McDonald's. Absolutely crazy. So that is gonna be the... I think we can take a look at one more DPS before we jump into Silk Song, and that shall be... Okay, you know what? Let's look at Akron. Okay, we're gonna look at Akron. Oh. Okay, you know what? Stop my score. Okay, we have a Sustainers DOT. We have Docron Huehue. So the top two teams for Akron is Sustainers DOT and Docron Huehue. Is Docron. Okay, Docron is just really prevalent for the first half. And then the second half is the traditional Akron teams with like your Jiao Qiu Teeps, couple of Meow Meows. And from this point onwards, they are just not going to be clearing anymore. So we do see a lot more Akron clears in the first half. And almost exclusively done with high silence. There's one team with a sustain that did not have high silence, and that's going to be Akron Jiao Qiu team. So this was the original, right? This was the original. I'm actually quite surprised this managed to clear 33k, right? Especially with an Aventurine sustain. So that's quite nice. Everyone else is just all high silence. We see a Kafka clear here, a Meow Meow clear here. Yeah, quite a couple of Meow Meow. We do not see a single Silver Wolf appearing though. Right, first half has 0 Silver Wolf appearance, and then we do see a Silver Wolf appearance here on the second half, but the performance is not going to be that exceptional, so it is what it is. And right, and then we see a couple of Teeps, a lot of Teeps, and all these remaining are just not going to be clearing here, unfortunately, right? So that is going to be our Akron clears. It is what it is, and we're just going to look at one last DPS, one final DPS. You should remove Teep and check the best teams with no Teep. I don't think there's an exclusion, right? There's no exclusion clause. Yeah, but essentially, at a glance, I can see that the top performing teams, or rather the top popular teams for Akron, there is not a single team. Like literally zero team all the way until here. All the way until here. The first like top 15 Akron teams had 0 teams, which is I guess what essentially happened is that they probably saved tip for the other side. So they didn't give Akron tip, especially an E0 Akron. That is what my guess is, right? They probably need to use tip for the other half of it. Maybe they gave tip to Firefly. Wait, actually, is that a team? Firefly tip, chat. Firefly tip. Can tip save Firefly with this one? Let's see. Hey, this is clear though. At E1 plus, this team actually cleared. So you know what? I will count this as a pass in my book, right? It's not one guy, it's 2 guys, right? It's 2 guys. Slightly more than 2 guys. So it technically still cleared. So NY. Actually, speaking of tip. Damn. Highest? Damn. That is a lot of 40Ks, guys. Oh my lord, that is a lot of 40Ks. Holy. Yep, as long as you use tip, you are getting a 40K. You get a 40K, you get a 40K. Everybody gets a 40K. Exceptional. Okay, how do I remove tip from Akron? I don't think I can, right? Select all, then click tip face, other removing strict mode. Oh, okay, so we go here, select all, remove tip. Okay, like this. Okay. I mean, we still see a couple of pretty decent 40K clears. It's mainly D Herda, DOT, no morals with Gallagher, right? No morals with Gallagher. To be fair, it is a 0.01%. Blade dual DPS, and then a lot of high silence Kafkas. High silence Kafka, high silence Kafka, high silence Kafka, high silence Kafka, and everything else just Castrus, Dioda, Castrus, Dioda, Castrus, Dioda, Castrus, Dioda. We have a couple of Annexas here with Cerydra. Across the board, it looks to be quite interesting. Alright, it looks to be quite okay. Phainon over here. Oh my god. Oh, we already saw this team being really not that optimal. Wait, I really don't understand why Phainon looks so bad in the results though. Like, look at this. Here's okay, like the top 2 highest appeared Phainon teams. He is doing a 33 and a 30. This one does not even have Cerydra. How the hell is Phainon's score on average 29K? Where is it? Like, I simply refuse to believe. I am in disbelief. I am legitimately in disbelief. It just doesn't really make too much sense to me. When the top most appeared Phainon teams are clearing more than 30K on average, why is this happening? This has to be Sarah, right? This has to be Sarah. But I feel like at this point, we can wrap up the end of this video. And the word of the day is going to be the Phainon agenda. The Phainon agenda, right? Report the Sarah of the league. Join Twitch, join YouTube, join Discord, join our page of all of our enemies. We are use code for 10% of gamers house. We are gonna be finishing Silk Song Act 1 today. Definitely. All the best for gacha pools, and I'll see you guys next time.